Hello everyone! It's been a while since I've last posted, but I guess there's a reason for that. So I've been thinking about making a video about this for a few weeks now, and I've just been having more and more small coincidences that have been pushing me towards talking about it. I also recently went on a trip to Miami to visit some friends and people that I thought I was never gonna see again. And a lot of them just kept asking me the same question, whether they were friends or not, which was, do you like Miami or Dallas more? And I always respond with Dallas. That's always my initial response. But others ask, what's so great about it? How do you even have fun over there? Is it just some boring cow town? Are there a lot of white people? Yes, I was asked that last question. During most of these conversations, I usually just give a small spiel about why I like it more, which usually contains the fact that Dallas is a lot cheaper. There's nicer people, I would say, and traffic is actually normal. Now, all of you Dallas folks are probably laughing in my face right now, saying that the traffic is awful, but trust me, Miami's gotta be one of the worst places to drive in. Which brings me to my first point, which is traffic. When people think of rush hour, they usually think maybe around 7 to 10 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m., something like that. But in Miami, it's like rush hour is every hour. What sucks is that since there's only like 2 lanes on the streets and there's like barely any expressways, the traffic is awful everywhere. There's no significant place where it's like the worst. As I said before, a lot of people that live in Dallas think that the traffic is awful here, but trust me, after living in Miami for 17 years, this is a huge upgrade. The difference is that the traffic actually flows. In Miami, you're just bumper to bumper where you're moving an inch every 5 minutes. You will never get there on time. Whatever you have planned, you're never gonna get there on time. And honestly, I don't think I've ever been stuck in traffic in Dallas. And I don't think I've seen that many car crashes here either. I think I've only ever seen like 1 or 2 in the past 7 months. In Miami, every time I went out, I would at least see 1 car crash or just some kind of obstruction in the road where the traffic is just getting worse and worse. It's insane because no one in Miami knows how to drive, and I'm pretty sure everyone else in Miami agrees on that point. The city is so overpopulated and condensed that it's sort of like New York City, where there's just constant traffic jams and no one goes to sleep at a regular sleeping hour. Number 2, nightlife and activities. While most people in Dallas after work go straight home to their families, I think that the majority of Miamians go straight to the clubs or somewhere down at the beach, which honestly sounds like fun, but it's just not for me. Miami's got this whole, I'm young, I want to get blackout drunk, and I don't care about my responsibilities in the morning. Whereas people in Dallas would probably say, I'm young, I would like to get blackout drunk, but I have work tomorrow and it's 8:30, so everything's closed. The way I sort of see it is like the comparison between LA and New York, which would be Miami and Dallas, kind of, where Miami is more party and fun life, while Dallas is more businessy. But for some reason, people in Miami think that Dallas is like the most boring place on earth, when it's literally probably exactly the same, except there's no beach and we have Six Flags. I'm speaking in terms of activities and things to do. You've got the same things you've got over there. You got museums and clubs and beautiful gardens and eateries and all these sorts of places, art districts, shopping malls. You have the same things over here. They're both equally exciting, but I would definitely say that Miami wins for party and nightlife. Dallas feels more like a work and family thing, if I'm gonna be honest. But for some reason, y'all think Dallas looks like this when it actually looks like this. You guys think that Texas is just farm and grass. No, we have city. It's not just some farm. Number 3, cost. I think we can all agree that Miami is extremely expensive. Apartments and homes are both expensive. It doesn't even matter if it's a nice house, to be honest. I mean, obviously, the modern beach mansions are gonna be expensive in Miami, and so will the beautiful mansions in Dallas. A mansion is always going to be expensive, no matter where you're at. But at the same time, it's always a matter of taste and preference on what kind of style of house you're looking for and what style you want to be living in. It also depends on the area you're talking about. If you are further and further out of the heart of the city, usually the houses are going to get cheaper. And the difference is that in Dallas, the further and further out you get from the main city, I think that it's just more open and spacious, so the houses are usually a lot bigger and less expensive because there's just so much land in Texas. I'm sure that you can probably land a 4,000 square foot house in Dallas for the same price as a 2,000 square foot house in Miami. A lot of the Miami homes are so close together. You can practically see your neighbor showering 3 feet away from your window. Now, of course, you can have the opposite depending on the area of where you're living in. Overall, I would say Dallas is a lot cheaper, and I think that the houses are much nicer and well built as well. I think that the construction and the layouts of the houses are really great. They're a lot different than the Miami houses. Number 4, people and hospitality. Dallas automatically wins this one by a long shot. When I visited Miami 2 weeks ago, I noticed how cold the people were and just rude overall in general when they're serving you. It doesn't matter where it is. It could be a waitress, you're trying to ask for help with clothes at the mall, you're paying for groceries, you're trying to buy a car, anything. Everyone sort of has this feeling like, I don't care, I hate my job, I hate you, and I don't care if you have somewhere to be, I'm gonna take my time and be as slow as possible. No one smiles at you. No one asks, how was your day? Can I show you the specials? I don't get anything like that in Miami. I don't get any good service. They just look at you with this annoyed attitude, like they don't care about you. And they just don't care at all. Like, come on, I'm the customer. Aren't you supposed to treat me with respect and give me the best service? Isn't that what you want? Don't you want a good review? Don't you want me to come back? It's sad, but of course, I'm not gonna generalize and say that that's the entirety of Miami. Of course, you do see some sweet and nice service in Miami. I just think that it's less likely, but I just see more bitter service in Miami versus in Dallas. For example, when we came to Miami about a few weeks ago, we landed our plane at around 10 a.m. I want to say, and we were kind of hungry because it had been a 2.5 hour flight. So the only place that was open at that time was a Denny's nearby our house, and so we went there and we noticed that the one hostess was also the one waitress. She sat us down and she looked like she just didn't care at all about us. And we had been sitting there for about 15 minutes when we noticed she hadn't even taken our drink orders at all yet. And so we noticed that there were these boys in front of us that looked like they hadn't gotten their drink order yet and they were here before us. So we asked them, has this lady even asked you for your order yet? And they said, no, we've been here for 25 minutes. And she hasn't even given us our drink order yet. And I was like, what? I would give her the benefit of the doubt because she looked like she was struggling to walk or had like a bad hip or something. But I still thought that's no excuse to at least come over and say, I'm sorry for the long wait, or at least greet us with a smile or something. This lady just looked like she was absolutely done. She just wanted to take her time and she didn't care. So we left. Anyways, that's pretty much it and all that I wanted to talk about today. Overall, everyone has their likes and dislikes and their own preferences on how they want to live and where they want to live. But I think it definitely depends on how and where you see yourself in the future and how you want to structure your life. If you like to party and love the Hispanic atmosphere, move to Miami. If you want to start a family or start a business, move to Dallas. I personally think that Miami is more of a vacation spot. I don't really think it's a great place to live in, but just visiting the beach and going to Lincoln Road and going to all the beautiful museums and getting to eat outdoors, I think is great. But I wouldn't want to do that every single day of my life and just party every day. If you're thinking about moving to either one of these, I definitely suggest doing your own research and asking people that have lived there or been there before on a vacation. If you want to go visit both of these too, go ahead. Everyone has their own perception of life and has a way of perceiving it. So you do whatever you want. If you don't like either of these places, move somewhere else. This was just my experience with both of these, and I've only been in Dallas for 7 months, so it hasn't been too long here, but I know that I will definitely have more experiences throughout my life here in Dallas, and I'm hoping to stay here as long as I can because I really do love it. But that will be all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this gave you some insight on both of these places, and I hope you consider looking into these too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and bye!